Well, hello guys. How are you doing? How's everybody going? How's everybody going? Right? How's everybody going and how are whatever. Right? Here we go. Right out the gate. Right out the damn gate, I tell you. Whew. How is y'all's how has it been? I don't even know the days anymore. I'm just like, think today's Sunday, right? Um, and so yeah, I've just been kind of spiraling, you know, and I just don't I kinda did this when I was in Boise too, except I was in Boise, so it was really bad. It was really enhanced, just to be a fish out of water in a completely strange town, way, way, way far away from home, without the comforts of home, without the comforts of my family, my family, my kids, my almost husband, um, just your comfort, and, we had that big storm roll through, and y'all, it did some damn damage to us. It ruined my nerves, the rest of them gone. Uh, that was scary, intense, and Jason actually, when we bolted out, this was like 2 hours before the first day of trial. I was like, "It's the morning of," right? And I'm like, "Ready." Ready to stream and just be with you guys, and I did eventually, I cut down a tree while we were streaming live, right? Oh my god, what can go wrong will go wrong. Just bank on it, okay? And just be resourceful. That's my advice. But when me and Jason, it's usually about around the time that the boys got on the bus is when it just came out of nowhere, the storm, a real storm from God. An act of God, not an act of Chad. Okay. They can't ruin every damn thing. They will if we let them. So they've done ruined songs, zombie. I love the cranberries. Anyway, so whenever me and Jason and the boys, we live in a mobile home, and we were in the pantry straight up, me and the boys. And I was just like, "Our Father who art in heaven," I was praying, and I forgot even the next line of the prayer, and I was like, "What was I saying?" And anyways, we found a point where we could run out. I told them to protect their heads. Let's just bolt to the truck. I don't like to be stuck. I like to move. I like to be on the go. You know, a tornado, I can deal with hurricanes. They produce tornadoes. However, the hurricane's coming. You know about what wind force is gonna be. You can choose. You got days, unless you're me. And 2020 was horrible, right? And I didn't even know that Hurricane Laura was a day out, and it was a Cat 4. It was a 5, but for insurance purposes, it became a 4, if you know what I mean. But either way, it ransacked our hometown. This is where me, mom, Larry, Ashland, JJ was born here. This is where we were born and pretty much raised. And it just it the hurricane was a distraction. If that sounds crazy, it's because it is what it is. It was a distraction from the murders, from Tylee and JJ just being found on Chad Daybell's property. And you become so consumed. I became so consumed that you kinda get to where you don't know which end is up. But I didn't expect to find you guys in the midst of this. I didn't expect to have a community be built, out of such tragedies, and then just end up being just some of my favorite people in the entire world, and I just I really do I wish I could express it or show it to you in a tangible form and just thank you, you know? You guys are the best. And I don't wanna cry. Um, but you guys have made this a lot easier. That's for sure. I just anyways, you know what I mean? Like, I can't I say it, but I don't know if you understand, like, how much I know it means a lot to mom and Larry, I can tell. Um, and that means the world to me too, that's my parents, and Murder is messy. It changes everything. It changes who you are. It rocks you. Um, you think about things a whole lot different. You your family becomes, in my through my experience, I'm still a loner for the most part. Hey, Robinette. Um, but I appreciate my family more. I used to just be like, ugh, whatever. And I just avoided because I'm just not that person. I'm not, oh, let's go to soccer games. It's not me. It's not for me. It's for some people, but it's not for me. God bless you. You know, um, I think we all do good at their own things. Um, so I wish I could just show you guys, just like I said, tangibly with something tangible where you could be like, "Oh my god, yes." Um, but just the fact that you show up time after time, even with all of the what can go wrong, it goes wrong, right? Point in case right here. I mean, if you ever wanna feel not so, like a klutz or not so like a dingbat or whatever it is, um, oh my god, damn it. Come here because, we'll humble together, okay? Oh my god, damn, what a gnat. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, that's an act of God. Anyways, so, come to find out, Jason had fell the other day when we bolted for the truck, and I knew he fell. I just didn't know what all happened. And he didn't really either, but he was going to, get in the truck. I mean, I can't carry him. I've tried. Um, but so we ran. He was coming around. He hit his head, a limb, like he kicked the limb out of the way. It was a pretty big limb, but it was right there by the door of the truck, and he kicked it away, but it came back and like with a vengeance, right? Because when it rains, it literally pours. Okay, what can go wrong, it will go wrong. And so it knocked him down, and I remember him falling. I remember Silas. He was like, "Daddy!" He was crying, and I was just like, "Oh my god!" It was just chaotic, scary, sideways rain, wind. It was freaky. I'm 45 years old, and I mean, I used to be terrified of bad thunderstorms like that, terrified. But I mean, uh, I'm just aware. You know what I mean? Yeah, Larry's birthday was the 12th. Yours was the 8th, right? Or I'm probably gonna be in trouble. And then JJ's biological mom, hers was the 10th, the day trial started, the day of the storm from the north and the south, right? Well, anyways, so I thought that was interesting because the trial officially started on April 1st, which was it would have been my mama Trahan, y'all have heard me talk about her. I miss her. Um, she was like a mom to me, but, her birthday would have been April 1st, and so I just think that's interesting and neat that these things tend to I mean, of course, there's a lot of things to do with the courts, Lori and Chad, right? I mean, they consume and take over a lot of things, a lot of dates, a lot of important things have happened on many of, the anniversaries or birthdays of the victims or whatever, what have you. And it never fails. Um, I just can't help but think that, you know, I think they want justice from the other side, wherever they are. If it exists, I tend to believe that it does. I hope that it does. I hope. Um, whatever it looks like. I don't know what that is. I don't know what heaven looks like. I don't know what hell looks like. I mean, I don't know. So, But yeah, so Jason he hit his head on the running board to get to the point of that story. And so, I mean, he's fine, but I mean, we were just booking it straight up. If I'm running, everybody else must run too, because if I'm running, that means something's chasing me, and or just you don't want to be the last person. You don't want to. You want to get past the last person running. I've always been told that. Oh Lord. Oh, the wimp. Right. Hey, S.L. Connolly. Hey, Bewitched. I saw you at. I was watching Natalie, lawyer chick, right before I came on. 'Cause I really, like I said, I'm spiraling, not in a bad way, just in a I don't know where to kinda latch on. The information, it's like having y'all know when, like, the Chandler documents, the FOIA docs, the infamous FOIA damn docs, when they would just a dump is what we would call it, a FOIA dump. That was so much information, plus people were uploading it onto YouTube, so I was watching it and I'm running a channel, right? So I'm trying to upload it too, but I either don't know how all the normal people do it, so I would run it through an app, my phone would crash all the time. It's just difficult. Straight up, I earned the damn name. Difficult research, straight up. Crush a difficult research. Easton, that's me. But I mean, I don't know, it's just so much at one time, and it gets very overwhelming because, I mean, part of my thing in this is, you know, it's it's a blessing and a curse to have your family, you know, uh, family members just be plucked off like they're nothing, pieces of trash. I mean, and I think trash even gets treated better than they did. Um, you're thrust into well, I mean, if you're a family member who of the victims who, wants to know what's going on or wants to help find your, 2 missing kids, your nephew and your step cousin, who are missing right after, my uncle was murdered. I mean, it was just a lot, and it goes so fast. It's just so fast. It's blurry, and you really get lost in it. Um, but just trying to find them, you don't I didn't care what I had to do. I would have sold my soul. I'm telling you. I'll trade places with them. Still would if I could. If it worked that way. I wish it did. Um, but just for them to, you're like I'm just saying that it pissed me off so bad. It hurt so bad when I learned that my uncle was murdered. Okay? I mean, that was just the shock of my entire existence. And, it pissed me off too. And because it hurt, and it didn't just hurt me, it hurt my brother, it hurt, um, all of us, everybody who loved my Uncle Charles, I mean, it hurts. And you're just, I was just like, what the fuck, you know? And there's, JJ and Tylee are over there living with their mom. But there's laws, and so you can't just be all gangster and just roll up and grab a kid. That's called kidnapping, and you'll get in a lot of trouble. But then again, if you had known that was coming straight for you and for the little I mean, for your family, for the little ones, for the kids, we'd have done I'd have done it. I'd have done it. I mean, I was begging mom and Larry to let me go on the first day of Lori when she was extradited from Hawaii. I was like, I don't have a record. I was like, I'll just get in a little trouble, just a little, take the earrings out, and I was like, I won't touch her. They can put me in the same damn cell as her. I'm good. I will take one for the team. I was like, I won't touch her. I swear to God. But I said, I'll make her ears bleed because I'll never stop bumping my gums. Straight up. Here you go. Anyways, mom and Larry didn't go for that. Yeah. And then, I mean, just initially, it was hard to tell Todd. I mean, it's my brother. He's my little brother. I'm very protective of Todd. Always have been. The way that we see how Tylee and JJ were with each other, me and my brother. Okay. Growing up, I don't know. It's just the way it was. Um, and so, I want to do the best I can to try and protect my family because I do love them. And that's like, it's like a whole, it's just different because people are, don't F with me. You know what I mean? Or F with me, but don't F with my family. I didn't know that about myself. I didn't know that about being protective or even territorial. I'm territorial. And so whenever you see it all over the news stations and I mean, I'm like I said, it's a blessing and a curse because half of you is so appreciative for this, for these platforms who even and I didn't know this in the beginning. You don't know these things till you actually go through them and see for yourself, and then you're like, "Oh, so this is how that works." Okay. I didn't know. I learn by watching others and just kinda getting in there. But you see so many other people, um, and it made me happy. It made me relieved, and then come to find out, there's a lot of kids, a lot of missing people. If they're not blonde hair, blue eyes, white kid, they don't too much make it onto the mainstream circuit or whatever the hell you wanna pretty much a circuit, right? It really does feel like that sometimes. It's very frustrating. Um, uh, so again, there's half of me that's like grateful, thankful. Oh my God, yes, we need this. People who or families who find themselves on this side of missing children, crime, murder, 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 cults, all the things, right? Um, it's a club you don't ever want to be a part of. And it's taught me so many things. Yeah, but right? KJ, they just spit us out. They don't come for us, right? Right. And then you think, do you not do how many of you guys think about all the things, all the times that you did some risque stuff and some just all the times that something should have happened but didn't. And by the grace of God, right? I'm just like, "Oh my God." Reckless. I was reckless, straight up. Was just like, dee dee dee, just totally oblivious of my surroundings. And hey, soul tie. It's good to it hurts to see, all the ways that all the things that could have went wrong didn't go wrong. And then, you're like, "Oh my God, I was so stupid. I wasn't thinking. Oh my God, it could have been really bad." You put yourself in kind of bad situations. I know that was me, straight up. I didn't care, you know? And, it's the self-sabotage thing that I do. Um, I don't I don't think I do it too bad anymore. I mean, I don't go out and I don't, I don't roam amongst people for the most part, socially, just here for the most part. And, but, it comes at a cost to be safe or to be in your little bubble, in your safe comfort zone. But I've learned so much from researching, just from watching the pod or listening to the podcast, watching the YouTube creators and their perspectives, watching all the news broadcast systems and services and reporters who, um, appreciate what they do. I do. I really do. And I think that's, with all of us who have access to platforms like this, I always have hair on me. um, oh wow. Oh, we'd love to, KJ. It kind of makes me sad. I'm gonna have to like process that. Oh, it's a lot of change. I don't do good with change. Um, I guess I'm really sensitive today, so, I didn't know until I started talking. I didn't really know what to talk about, because 'cause I'm kinda just trying to find my, trying to catch my snap. Um, but no, don't be sorry. It's just, I was already sensitive before you said that. So, it's nothing to do with you, KJ. I mean, I love you so much. Um, just a lot. Um, you feel like, I'm so sorry, y'all, too. I'm not sorry for crying, I'm just sorry for crying live, right? Um, again, I must have been on the verge because it didn't take much. Oh, okay. Uh, I'll look, Vesta says mom. I need to look at my emails later. So much to do. I mean, no. Nothing to do with you. I talk and think out loud, and I shouldn't. I know. I know, Carrie, me too. It's been a long time, and again, it goes fast, and then, just I don't know. I just there's times whenever going through this, like when Lori's trial happened, I was like, "Oh my god, oh no, 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 no." It's like I looked at it like this is an opportunity. This is when everybody will be looking this way, you know, and it was true. It's a wave, and it's overwhelming, and you kinda don't know what to do with it. Channels grow, grow, grow. It reminds me of that "Grow, hair, grow." That preacher dude. I forget his name, but, and I mean, I'm so happy for other people who do right their, um by their approach or the way they handle true crime and the true crime cases, how they handle victims. Okay. But it's a whole 'nother thing whenever and it happens. Y'all know and I know. I've been watching nonsense. I've been watching, the uh, Ward case. I can't ever think of the name. So sorry. Jin Lu. I mean, I watched Paul, uh, reporting live from his sofa, reporting live from my sofa or whatever it is. Um, I watch all kinds. And I mean, I love watching them grow. I like being one of them. I like to subscribe. I even check it every now and then because I'm like, "Oh, how the hell did I was unsubscribed from Mormon discussion." Yeah, Mormonism Live, Mormon discussions, Bill Real, Radio Free Mormon, which I never thought you couldn't have asked me 5 years ago who Radio Free Mormon and Bill Real were, or, John Dehlin and Mormon Stories podcast. If you'd have told me that, I'd have been like, "What? Who are you? And what do you want?" Because, I was listening to music, I was doing stuff physically, I was creating things and selling. I was finally with a man where I felt like home is what I thought of when I first, you know, met Jason, and I was like, "What? A person is not a home," is what I was telling myself, and then I mean, it couldn't have came at a better time because that was, like, in 2018, and the very next year, shit fell apart, and, you know, it takes a toll. It really does, and, I mean, there's just as much beautiful things. Trust me, that's the only thing that keeps me hanging on are the beautiful things and the beautiful friendships, just the conversation, just to be amongst you good people, you know? I'm blessed. I'm blessed. My family's blessed. And, again, I wish I could show you. I wish I could like, "Here you go." But it's a lot of pressure that I put on myself. And I mean, I really didn't know. I still don't know what I'm doing here. I have no idea. I don't have a goal. I don't have uh, I don't know where I'm going. You know what I mean? There was no set. It was just dig, 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 and keep digging, keep reading, keep learning until you figure it out. And I mean, I pretty much have it figured for the most part. I don't have it all figured out. I didn't know it was going to lead me to where it led me. I didn't put a cap on myself. I'm still going, and but I have a really good understanding of it now. It makes sense for what they're doing. I'm just like, oh, okay. So if you look at it inverted or that way, then okay, yeah, I can see how they got to there. I don't know how they got to there, but I can see how this led to there. How this led us to here. It's just crazy. But I put pressure on myself. Oh, oh, that's sad. Just kidding. Yeah, he is skinny now. He was put on. He's diabetic now. uh, I'm sorry. Like I don't know if I. Yeah, he's fine. Um, yeah, because him and Jason talk about it, and so I don't know if it has to do with that or what. Yeah, Sue Ellen. It's not like having all 7 layers of your skin on and you're standing in a wind tunnel and trying to get a foothold. That's what they did to you. Yeah. Well, not in a direct way, but indirectly, it affects me. Yeah. It affects everything. Um, I mean, I don't think people do it on purpose. I mean, again, I'm not like sad or bitching about anybody in particular. Just it's a lot, and I like to reflect on things, and you know, I guess because 'cause I'm all of my emotions, I guess we're gonna do that now. Oh, he could be, Janelle. I really don't know. I know, the ambulance that came and picked Jason up that day that mom brought that other day I was streaming. Oh my god, it's just been chaotic. Um, but the ambulance driver, I was outside and I was just, I was like, "I'll take some Ozempic. I need some Ozempic to go, please." I my who did I ask? My cousin Cindy, she's a doctor now, and I need to go to I guess. I mean, she's just a regular doctor. She's already been through 80 years of school, right? And I know that she had gotten her own practice. That was when I was in Boise, y'all, so I just again, I gotta catch my grip and, um, and just stop talking about it and do it. But there's just so many other things, like, through the case, through the research and everything that I put on myself, and I'm like, "Okay," you know, I wanted to have it all together, whatever that is, and I don't. Y'all know, I know, I'm just not that's just not me. I'm not a Google speaker. I am not a TED talker. I'm a crush right here. Psh, difficult research. Okay, you can hit me on my hip. Just kidding. But, um I'm plain. I'm basic. I like to laugh, and, I mean, this stuff is really uncomfortable to talk about all the time, and that's what I do. I research this all the time. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. I don't know what it is to take a break because I don't know how. I, um, again, I'm most likely on the spectrum. Whatever. That's for me to figure out. It doesn't matter anyway, but it does explain my fixation, on certain things, but this shook me, so I don't know if it's that or this. I mean, it grabbed me, and I wanted to know, and I still wanna know, I wanna get to the bottom of it. I want those that have my family's blood on their hands, literally on their hands, I want them to be held accountable. That's all. That's it. Just not not between you and your, whomever you report or, confess to. I don't that ain't got nothing to do with me. I want those people to talk. I want those people to and not be self, uh, righteous, and projecting everything that they took part in, but don't believe in. I don't want this. This has been a shit show. And I'm just like, all they're doing is poo pooing more, victimizing more my dead loved ones who, because of, let's just say, a lot of their neglect and or their own omissions, um, because of how they felt and feel. It again, it's a very privileged place to to be, and just to be like, well, Melanie Gibb, like, oh no, 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 they believe that, not me though. You can't truly believe in something if it's not true. I was like, what? You still go to the church, right? Just saying. I'm just like, whoa. Just the projection is so outrageous. It's so overt in this case with all these people and the people that, you know, we've come to learn connection, literal connections. Um, and how, I mean, I remember being, oh Lord, I'm like this, like a high chair. I remember in the beginning of this, I was so mad because people weren't calling this a cult. I'm like, call it a cult. Cult, cult, cult. It's a damn cult. Then on this journey, I'm learning out what a cult is. What does it consist of? What does a cult mean to you? What does a cult mean to me? Okay. I mean, just kind of some common understanding of what everyone's definitions are. Um, yeah, it's nuts. And then, I mean, just recently I've learned some really weird stuff. But I mean, it kind of makes sense. It goes into the whole accelerationalism, the doomsdayers, these I think it gets put off on a lot of preppers, and I feel bad for the preppers who are just prepping and not really religious zealots. Just extremism is no bueno. Um, I don't care if it's plucking eyebrows. You can pluck them too much, then you look not so normal. I mean, anything you do in excess is not good. If you get too much air or oxygen and not enough carbon dioxide, see, I sound dumb, but you know what I mean. Like it's got a balance, and I don't exclude myself from this because I'm not like, "Oh, I know, and so you should know. Imma teach you how to know." No. I like to humble myself a lot. I mean, I know there's times, I'm pretty sure, when I'm just, you know, bitchy or bossy. I don't know. It's usually I don't even mean to be, but let me read some else comments. The first time? Yeah, I do. It was Chad Day it was Chad Daybell's, I streamed Chad's hearing on October 5th, 2021, to be exact. Yeah, because I went live and I didn't know what the hell I was doing, pretty much the same today, but, and then it went long. It's the one that actually that Mark Means had mentioned in his filings whenever, Lori's health whatever, I always forget their names. Her name was Natalie, I know that much, but, um, case manager or, assistant or whatever, at the spa, at the mental health hospital where Lori was, whenever it was alleged by Mark Means that Lori, was assigned some homework by the clinician. Bam, got it. I do like to use my memory and then try to make make myself remember the things before Googling them, right? And, so it just so happened to be that court hearing I streamed on my channel. It was October 5th, 2021, and that's whenever Mark Means said that Lori was assigned homework by her mental health clinician to, you know, get you a new lawyer, girl. And then Lori's like, "Okay, you got the number?" And I'm sure the mental health tech. This is how it goes in my mind, my conspiracy, or my, you know, my understanding of it. Um, and so, the mental health clinician was like, "Yeah, here you go." And Lori's like, "Oh." And she's like, 1-800 LDS helpline. Oh, okay. And so she calls and she's like, "Hey, yeah, I need to talk to somebody about my case." And then, she gets, I mean, just out, just must be one of those just lucky people who always like, when they have a radio, um, what do you call it? A contest or whatever on the, the radio or whatever. And you call in and you have to be like the ninth caller, so she must have that kind of luck in situations like that. I would say she didn't win in the end, but you know what I mean? Just you don't simply one does not simply get assigned homework from their clinician while there's a stay on their case, multiple murder case, right? Including your children and including your children. And then while you're at said um, mental health facility, trying to restore your competency, um, your clinician hands you homework to do, and it just so happens to be, here, oh, you want a new lawyer? Here you go. And then hands you the phone number, and you just happen to get the 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 top lawyers of the Mormon Church that they use in civil litigations and stuff. Y'all know Curtin and McConkie. You've heard of them. Ugh. And then she ends up talking to, allegedly, to Daniel McConkie, like the dude, not just the law firm, but the dude of the law firm has a literal actual last name, McConkie. And then, I mean, just some really sketch stuff happened. And again, to me, when it's not, if that did happen, if it did, which it really does appear that way, you know, but I guess that makes me not so popular when I voice these things because, people are like, well, and I mean, I've not been accused of this yet or haven't seen it, but I'm sure people will be like, "Oh, you trying to get Lori and Chad?" No, I just want people who say that they're doing their jobs. They are legal experts. This is their livelihood. They were elected, they were appointed. I mean, I don't care who you are. Just do the right thing. It's so easy. And so if you do the right thing, you don't have to worry about, anything that comes from that because it's the right thing, or to the best of your knowledge, it is the right way to do things. Integrity, doing the right thing, especially when no one is looking. Okay. Anyway, so to me, I'm like, well, if that is happening, it would have to involve prosecutor or you know what I mean, prosecute. It would have to involve some legal people that are involved in the case, right? And the one who was, filing those motions and stuff, um, you can't represent two defendants either. So, well, again, you can't do these things and then just expect everything to go your way. That's not how it works. So if you're doing crappy things, then I mean, eventually it's going to catch up to you. That's how I look at it. Mm. And so Mark Means was, in the legal filings, and I really didn't know as much then than as I do today, and I won't know as much in 10 years than, you know what I mean? Same for y'all. Hello, Denise. Question, what would you say to Chad right now? Mm, um, let me think about that one. Oh, I know. I hate your books, Chad. There is not ever gonna be a time or a lifetime when I will not hate your books. They suck. Kill the ego, right? You gotta kill the ego. They don't like that. Don't call him core whore. Do not call Lori core whore. You can call her a murderer. You can convict her of murder. But do not call her a damn core whore. You heard? And don't take her damn temple recommend away. Was it worth it? I know, right? Yeah. I mean, I think about those things too. You know, I mean, I've thought of all kinds of things. Uh, the one I have for the thumbnail tonight was something that Sue Ellen told me a long time ago, and I didn't even know if I worded it right, and I was like, "Oh, well, it's good enough." Yeah, you gotta go for the ego. I'm telling you, because that is the only thing. Nothing else bothers them. They don't have a conscious, like we do. They don't think like we do. They don't have emotions like we do. I've learned I mean, I've really studied Tim Ballard, y'all. I mean, just the mannerisms, just so not just Tim, but, like, all of them. And, I mean, I'm just watching what they're saying, and then you know the actions or inactions, and they're not lining up. And so, to me, that's when I'm just like, "Huh, what's really going on here?" I smell bullshit. I smell some bullshit. Oh, I'm stepping in it now, but I really have come to learn that I don't like to watch just unsuspecting people who are just good people. I don't like seeing them getting taken advantage of, right? Quite frankly, Judge. Oh, I didn't put that thumbnail up, did I? Did I? I don't remember. Quite frankly, Judge, you clearly do not appreciate my superior intellect and paucity of moral foundation, said John Pryor every day. That and, "Oh, I apologize." And then he dun 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 dun, right? And he's like, "Rrrr," and he mows you right over. "I apologize, but watch me, Imma do it anyway. Hold my beer." Yeah, straight up. Oh, that's a good question. Let me stop. Hey, Chad, how does it feel to be married to a hooker? And how's it feel to be tricked out too? Get your salad tossed. I'm just asking. Us curious folks, just we don't care. We just wanna know. We just know, you know, we know how there's different politics in them jails. But anyways, especially when you are accused of, harming even just innocent children who, you can't pick on somebody your own size, and that's obvious, with 2 kids buried in your backyard. Not you and John Pryor's backyard, not all your acreage, our 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 farm. I was like, "Well, yeah, it is, huh?" I still can't wait one day, I swear to God, if I could, I mean, if I had the money right now, because money talks. Money talks, bullshit walks, right? I mean, that's just common. Money, power, sex, right? So, I swear to God, if I had the money, I would go like, I've been saying that for what? Since I came onto YouTube. I don't know. There's nothing that can ever thrive there, not from my perspective, but I would go and I would bulldoze the whole damn Daybell property, house, all everything, remove everything, and, I think Brandon Boudreaux, he got into selling solar panels, and I was like, "Well, there's somebody we could talk to if I ever, uh, landed in that position or whatever, in that, um, where I could buy the property, the house, move them out, and then put the solar panels up and then just light 2 lights. I mean, I don't know about, you know, I anyways, I know there's things there's ordinances and all the things, right? So, just in my perfect world, um, that's what memorializing the kids, Tammy, Charles, Joe. I can't. They're all together. Okay, here, and but just to honor them because nobody, nobody here on this earth now or any other earth life or whatever, any good Satans out there who are just really outdoing themselves lately, trying to extinguish and snuff people out, to dim their lights because they can't handle their projection. They can't handle their own demons, so they project them and end up having, victims in their wakes. Um, it's really sad. And it's enraging also because, I mean, it's easy to see who the true zombies are. That's been apparent from day one. I mean, I was like, "Oh my god, they're empty carcasses, they're just shells." Especially Chad. He's oh my god, I'd rather go, spend 800 weeks at the DMV or, um, anything like that, you know, than to just I don't know how there's no personality, there's nothing there. Nothing. It's vacant. He's vacant. And then, you look at her too, and she looks like a road whore. I'm just straight up. She looks like a damn hooker. Straight up. It's weird how all that just crumbles away. They don't have or like Lori, she doesn't have the good water, she's got jail water. It's hard water, and you can tell. You don't have all that lotion, okay? You just get some from Bon Qui Qui, you're like, "Hey, Bon Qui Qui, you can I have some of that lotion? You got some toothpaste so I can use it as glue?" I mean, there's so many things, and, they did it to themselves. It's not what I want. I mean, I don't care. Just don't let them out. That's all I'm saying. They were still dubbing people dart. My mom was on that list. I love my mom, okay? I tend to lean towards, I don't want nobody taking my mom out, okay? I mean, that's just enough's enough. Um, and then that's to me, there's Charles, and then Tylee, and then JJ. Brandon was shot at. He's not my family, but you start putting these things together, then you find out in the trial that, or did I know that before the trial? I think I did. Rhonda was her name, her zombie name. And uh, I think I did know it. Was it in the FOIA docs or something? I don't remember right off the top of my head. Yeah, evil, big time. Bewitched cannot stop it. She's funny all the damn time. Oh my lord, right? Lori looks road hard and put away wet. No leg oil for her, right? She did it to herself too. She needs to look in that, what is it? Basically like a cookie sheet. That's the mirror, right? There ain't no damn mirrors. Okay? Can't be, So it's like stainless steel basically, and it's got scratches in it. And we can tell because she can't put makeup on. That's for damn sure. Yeah, no. Mm-mm. She's gross. The way Chen sits unmoving is a sign of psychopathy. Well, interesting. And then I am I am no expert. Like you're an expert. You're a professional. And so mhm. I can see where that one could make that conclusion. Yeah. What about Alex? Would he be more like I've heard people describe him as more of a sociopath, and I don't know the differences, except one I would think is more social, whereas the other one is more like Chad. What bothers me about Chad is he's sneaky. He's one of those sneaky judgmental fuckers. I'm sorry I said it. I did. I said fuckers. Oh, I said it again. I mean, but it's true. We're grown-ups here. But he's sneaky and he picks on kids, allegedly. And so or, um, making snide comments, when Lori uh, told Chad by text, "Hey, Kay got the insurance money. Ned changed it." I mean, it came on, that testimony from Lori's trial, um, that Ned must have changed it before he died. I was like, "No, Charles did." Charles, Ned, Garrett, and Eblos, they all went and changed the damn life insurance policy. You bitch. Okay? They all don't like you. All right. And so then again, I mean, just these things come to me like, especially when I'm in well, I'm always in it, but so one thing I did have not like really circled the wagons on are the kids' autopsies. Okay, it's hard, and so that was on before I came in here. And, it's just hard. Um, but so they were talking about it was Tylee, JJ, and then Tylee, the one for Tylee came on, and so I'm running around, I'm not stationary, and I mean, it's audio. Audio is way better. I would rather have the audio. I'll be first one to admit it. I can't hear them. I cannot hear them, and you definitely can't see them. So I'm just like, what is this? Is this some joke? Cruel joke? Don't make us don't make us all go to damn Boise. We will. I will go find mom and Larry's old buses. Okay, we will go on the bus. I wish we had the buses. I wish they had insurance. But anyways, so again, it gets when it's so close like that, it's so hard because it's like I feel like I'm just down in the weeds and I can't get out. I can't make sense of anything. It's just way too close. That's what I've come to, that's my conclusion as of right now. It's just too much. And so I do better, researching towards all the affiliates. And so that's kind of why I focus that way. There's many directions to go. You can basically stand in one spot and just turn. And there's one, and there's another one, and oh, they believe the same thing. Oh, they're rating people light and dark. Oh, it's all visions of glory. It's all spawning. I mean, it goes higher than this, but it's those who have the power and give these people the power. It's not the book. The book don't kill people. We're not dumb. We're not ignorant. But it's these ideas, okay? In the wrong hands, or let's say in basically a petri dish. It's like a petri dish, and it's just like, okay, well, it's like, when's the next one gonna sprout? And I mean, rhetorical question. I am not challenging anything, anybody, nothing. Just one of those, because it will, and it's gonna happen again. And that's because people get too offended. And I mean, again, I don't care what you believe in. Believe in whatever. I expect the same. But when it comes to people, and I understand that Chad and Lori are responsible, ultimately. I mean, Lori could have said, no, no, I don't think so. Take you and your loin fire and your storms and just haul your ass, okay? Or just whatever, screw them a couple times and then move along. I mean, whatever. I'm just saying, uh, they are so extra in all the things because of the culture, the just the repressiveness and the purity culture, and you have to be good, and so they're getting that projected onto them as they're growing up, and so I mean, can we really expect anything other than that to come out of these high demand religions, you know? I mean, it's a breeding ground, and it's scary because these thoughts, these ideas, they're dangerous, turns out, since the beginning of time, okay? Not just Mormon, not just it's all the things. People use things as a tool, as a method to justify to get what they want, and that's the money, power, sex thing. However, would you would you love would it wait, what does John Pryor say? Would it interest you to learn? Oh, Lord. Right? We have a damn prayer meeting, not a circle, a prayer before before we, before trial every damn morning. But I don't wanna offend nobody, and I damn sure don't know how to pray out loud. I'm not very good at that. Um, yeah, the 2 of them, yeah, no. And it's can you imagine? And Chad was serving a calling for the church. At the same time, all the murders took place. I mean, just think about it. So not only are they going to temples, hoeing around in the temples, right? Who'd have thought? I mean, I thought I chuckled a little bit when I learned that in Mormon temples, you couldn't laugh. in the celestial room, and as much as these women's these covens, these, witchy women, would go hang out and still do. I'm sure, they're walking they're in our neighborhoods right now. Okay? It's freaky because anyways, but I mean, they're going into temples and I'm like, they're talking about all this stuff. A meeting of the minds, if you will, and the Moroni, I guess. I'm sorry. That was inappropriate. Anyways, it's just and then you got it's like this is kinda how how it appears to me. Y'all know how I just kinda say I picture things or I imagine things or, like, I get this impression off of this or that, how a situation went down, and I've told y'all before that I mean, this is way in the beginning. I didn't know how this all worked. I didn't know how words were, and, I didn't know the infrastructure. When people said president, I was like, "Of the United States, right?" I mean and then I'm like, "Wait, so they're presidents and prophets? Oh my god. Oh, so they're equivalent to" I mean, you don't know until you do, till you have to know, and it'd be wise to get to know. People, um, again, I don't wanna say this. I mean, I'm not trying to offend anyone, just trying to speak my piece because it's with Tylee, Charles, Tammy, JJ, and Joe in mind, and I mean, they were all Mormons, so there you go. I'm just you see the it's crazy, and, I mean, I think it's good to build there's a mosquito man passing right now, it's super loud. Mhm. Um, I wish he'd back in the damn driveway and stay a minute. Yeah, so that's not okay, I need to not look at the chat because I keep but I kinda like to talk like this too. Um, okay, so, I know that my uncle paid money. He converted it to Mormonism, as did Joe. A lot of people do because in Mormonism, go read it for yourself. And I mean, I'm sure it's like this in other ones, but we're not talking about other ones right now. Okay. I don't know enough to talk and speak to it. I just know that it happens in this religion, particularly, and this is my introduction into the Book of Mormon. You know, it is what it is. And I mean, I still don't like, I've been accused of like, oh, you just want to take the church down. And I'm like, really? I really don't want to have nothing to do. Me? What am I gonna do with your damn church? No, I just want them to acknowledge, my family, who they're members. And in Natalie Lawyer Chick's, live stream right before I came on here, um, she is a lawyer and she was going over John Pryor and the prosecutor's opening statement, right? We all have our own opinions about how that went. I do, y'all do, and then we share them. I think that's what's beautiful about this, you know? And we don't have a big brawl. I mean, I rarely have to kick people out of here, you know? I mean, rare, 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 rare. It's only I mean, if they come in and they really just don't if they wanna disrupt and my mods don't either, I go check YouTube all the time, and I'm like, "Oh, really? That's it?" Then there's sometimes I'm like, "Oh my god," because we do it on accident. So sorry about that. It happens to the best of us, but so, I mean, here this is this church. My uncle did everything from my view, from what I've seen, what I've read in the FOIA docs, in the investigation that's public, that is, not a part of it, the investigation and or prosecuting, you know? We don't have all the facts, but we have a good understanding, Sometimes I wonder if, like, lawyers who are building their cases tune in to the way that society is today, how we have these platforms, how, they can just tune in and just be like, "Hmm, it's a good place to just a meeting of the minds and just share our own different ways of seeing things," I really think it's fascinating, and it's so helpful, but To have your family, my family, this is how it feels to me, to have my family, I've said it before, so I apologize for the repetition, but it dawned on me one day not long ago. I mean, this was after Lori's trial, and I was like, or maybe before, I don't remember. But the same people, okay? I mean, just think about this. I'm not being ugly. I'm just being me. But the same people, because it's a jury of the defendant's peers, okay? They're not my peers. They're not the victim's peers, but they're peers of Chad and Lori, okay? And especially, where it is in Idaho, it's a very highly, uh, dense, not dense, it's a high population of like minds, okay? And I mean, there's been rumors in the YouTube streets and all the other, social media streets and blogs that, I don't think Chad has followers. I mean, he might have people who are, like, rooting for him, whatever, they don't bother me. They really don't. Ignorance, okay. I've always prayed for them to cancel out. That don't work. That's the only math that I understand is just, why don't they cancel each other out? Anyways, but, um, whenever you realize, or when I realized that the same people who are literally, publicly, legally representing, um, defending, presenting the case, prosecuting the case, uh, putting away the bad guys, right? I feel like the same people who murdered my family members are the same people who are taking care of the justice. And so it's really wrong to me. I'm just like, mm-mm. I find no comfort in it. I want nothing to do with it really. It don't seem right to me. So I don't know if it's just because of here of, where it's at in Idaho. I really don't know. I don't know if it's because of the uh populated extreme. I mean, it's like 90 something percent of Mormon. And so if I see the comments and all these other, I go to other channels and blogs and I read comments because I learned so much from comments. I mean, from sometimes 2011, 2009, the beginning of the internet. And I'm just like, interesting. I mean, those people who leave comments, we don't expect people to be reading them, you know, however many years down the road, or to be gleaning anything from them. We're kind of like right here, right now, right? When we leave, we're done. I mean, Google collects them and all the, big YouTube daddies and stuff like that. That's what they do. They collect our data. They're listening to us right now. If my phone lights up, I'm gonna die. Just kidding. She's been lighting up a lot lately. Nosy. I don't want to say her name. But so yeah, it's really weird to have the same people who, again, I know that all the lawyers, the legal team, I mean, I know they're doing the best they can. It's just so hard for me to have faith, trust when I mean, I've watched this. And I really don't. I'm not a professional. I'm not an expert. I don't have doctorates and I don't even have a good vocabulary. Okay. I like to cuss a lot. I like to drop F bombs and stuff. I have a very cursive language. Okay. And I say inappropriate things all the time, but that's just my way of coping. Okay. It's personality. And I just find it so hard to just put my trust in people who, I mean, they advocate, sure. Mhm. I appreciate it, but it's always with a condition. It's not the church. It's well, I mean, it's not this person. It's well, I mean, and here come, all the apologists come out. And then I'm just like, wait, what? I mean, I read the same for you, docs. I'm talking about like summer. I mean, I'm not a hater. I don't like to attack. That's not me. I don't have a mob mentality, okay? I mean, it's rare that I even kinda put that out there, but it bothers me because this woman who is also a family member of the victims, I watched how the cards were played. I watched how things transpired. I don't have a right to speak in behalf or step or, apply. I'm not even a damn aunt, I'm not even recognized as that. You got all the laws with the technicalities and okay, you can be a designated victim. I'm like, what the is that? I don't understand your language because you can't tell my heart that. That's not what my heart tells me. My heart is just like, move out of my way. That's my damn family. Move. Excuse me. You know, and it's just really tough to kind of watch the politics of all that play out. And I mean, I understand that reporters have jobs to do, but I also want reporters to understand that my family, the victims, Tylee, JJ, and Charles, um, while you were reporting, it's a very, very delicate area. Okay. And I mean, I know better. That's the difference. And I mean, I watch what you do. I watch what I watch around me now. I didn't do that before. And no, it's just like it becomes a click, it becomes a subscription, a follow me, a view. It becomes clickbait, it becomes exploited. And I see it so many times. Basic more in this religion than again, this is where I focus. So it's if they say if you're looking for it, you'll find it, right? Well, I mean, it's smack dab in your face. Exploitation, I mean, it's just everywhere you look. And so there's a real fine line. And I mean, it depends on the person and how, like YouTube creators, allegedly innocent, does a great job. I don't ever see her having issues, you know, um, left undone. There's a lot of creators that, they're just like, maybe, let's just let them clowns do it. And then there's some that call these people out too. And I mean, it sucks. I mean, I've followed some people too, and I'm just like, "Oh, shit." You know, I mean, you just don't expect to be gotten, and we don't like to admit when we were wrong, right? "Oh, no. It's always something wrong with them." Well, no, it's shame on you. It's shame on me because I didn't look up far enough or, enough to see. So, I can't blame anybody else but myself. And so, accountability, nobody can make you do anything. I don't really don't think that. Um, I mean, persuade, sway, um, kinda manipulate, play they play the part. I mean, we had Awen Reese, y'all, and I mean, I don't hate her. I never did, but I still don't even know what was going on because, I mean, at that moment when everything was just I mean, when I say I'm spiraling, it was nothing like then. I mean, in 2021, when the indictments I mean, it was a horrible time. I wanted to go, to Rexburg, and I couldn't. Jason just had a thoracotomy. We had the hurricanes. The kids were found in the back of Daybell's property. Lori's being everywhere, a hooker. She's been a hooker everywhere with her hooker man with his little, ukulele, and they're just living their best lives. And while they tossed my family, murdered them, and just didn't even blink. But don't call him a damn core whore, okay? It's weird. It don't make sense. And then the whole justice system is where, they're given the, um, innocence until proven guilty thing. They have so many more rights than they have they have all the rights. They definitely have more privileges and rights, um, than they allowed their victims because they're breathing. They're going and taking a lunch and eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. you know? They're wondering what flavor ramen noodle they're gonna eat tonight and how many they're gonna trade with Boquita, to, um, anything you want, right? Anyways, but Tylee, JJ, Charles, Tammy, and Joe, they've not breathed another breath there's, since they took their last one. And untimely, yeah, a little bit. Two were children, and the other, the grown-ups in this case, were in the prime of their life. I know I used to think 50 was old. Now I'm pretty close to it, so it's not old. But it's just, I think it gets really, I kinda saw what you said, Aguilar, and I mean, it gets really easy to get caught up in following the next person and supporting what you think they're doing. I mean, that's great. I think that that's what we need to do, but we also need to be each other's brother's keeper, right? Yeah, not just Mormons, not just Catholics, not this clique stuff, just humaning humans, strip away all the labels, the identities, all the things, and just we're human. And I mean, it's pretty basic, and we complicate it. Um, and then we prop a lot of people up when they don't even know who you are. I mean, I'm just saying, if and I say this because, and I'm not like, oh my God, I don't expect Nate or other people to know my existence. I mean, I'm not, I'm not that important. You know what I mean? I'm not like, oh, he should know who I am. He should know that I stream every Sunday like clockwork. I'll be late every time, but I stream on Sundays. I scheduled on Sundays so that I wouldn't overschedule all the other ones, and I wouldn't run over and I wouldn't cause conflict, because I don't want people to feel like they have to pick and choose, because I like to run around too, okay? Because that's what we do. You don't owe an allegiance to me. I don't ever expect anyone, I don't ever ask anyone to, pick me, only me. What the hell? Okay, no. That's a cult. That's a cult mentality, and I'm not a cult leader. Never wanted to be. Anyways, and some people just kind of, either get put on that pedestal or put themselves on that pedestal, and they run with that shit. And you know, then it all comes crashing down, and it really sucks to watch. Sometimes people deserve it. You're just like, well, hey, try to tell you, but I'm just saying. Summer said according to the FOIA docs, I mean, it's not been proven in a court of law, but actions speak louder than words. And those actions being, she was appointed as, Tylee's I don't know the titles, victims advocate, appointed last for Lori's trial. She couldn't show up for that baby girl. Privilege, huh? Privilege much? Just hand it to you? Oh, okay. Um, I understand that they lost too, but there's a little bit of some complicitness here. Okay. And it's not to, I just don't, it doesn't sit right with me until that comes out, because obviously, I mean, I've been public. I've been, my chat room's open all the time. I'll never see Summer in here. Okay. I don't too much see anybody except for good people, awesome people. You know what I mean? I'm here. They can find me, right? But I mean, I was nice to her whenever at the trial, Summer was there, Rex was there. Rex didn't say hi to me, you know. I think one of his daughters did, because I mean, I was like, oh my God, Tylee looks just like her, you know. I don't remember her name, but there's Rex and Summer, and they were sitting in the pew in front of us. And then Summer turned around, and I was like, oh shit, don't make eye contact, like, oh God, look the other way. But she actually, out of all the people, And I say that from other family members who, again, you know who, um, I gotta give it to Summer, at least she acknowledged my existence. It's just a common respect, basic respect, and just saying, so I was nice, right? It wasn't the time, it was not the place, it is not the time or the place. A courtroom, trial, it's heavy. Oh my god, just uh-huh. And I mean, I was like, "I'm sorry for your losses too." And I mean, I mean it. I mean it. I don't wish hate or on anybody, not even Chad and Lori, not my ex-husbands. I mean, I just don't. It's not up to me. I'm done, like I flipped the switch and it's like a cut the cord or whatever. I don't know. But whenever so the whole thing about and I had some people let me know that I mean again because I haven't had time to just go watch all the things. I usually keep up with everything, but it gets really busy around this time. And they said that Nate had said, I think in one of his courtroom insiders, and I appreciate whoever told me that. I don't remember who you are, but and I mean you're not the first person to tell me that. And it was something like CrimeCon did the inviting for his speaker, and I really don't think that's how that works. Although, okay, maybe it does now. When my parents went to CrimeCon, I don't know how it works, so, you got that on me. I don't know how CrimeCon works. Um, Maybe they do have booking agents that go and book the talent, and by talent, I mean family members of victims, okay? It's not glamorous, and that's so gross. It's just gross. Again, there's a time and a place, and yes, I think it's neat whenever that there's this opportunity, but it also gets really gross really fast, sometimes. So, and then it could be the same. How am I trying to explain this? It's really hard to explain. And I mean, I'm not trying to sound like a sasspot or a bitch. I'm not trying to sound like a bitch. Just trying to be real with you and roll the dice, shoot the dice, right? Um, but it's like okay, like, whatever, Imma book this talent, or my booking agent's going to book, 2 people, say my mom and Larry, this was however many years ago, and I mean, I was like, "Going to CrimeCon? Okay, whatever." Whatever's healing for them, whatever. But then you have to watch out for people who are inviting or who are booking said people who are not famous. They're not actors, they're not movie stars. Mhm. It's because some people, heinously murdered members of their family. Um, so again, it's just a really thin line, and it gets blurred a whole hell of a lot. And, it's really it's blurry. It gets really blurry, and I mean, it pisses me off, and then but it can whenever let's say I have to walk through a scenario just so y'all know what the hell I'm talking about, but I'm just gonna pretend that, let's say Mom and Larry were invited to this crime con or con crime, whatever you wanna name it, and, it's just kinda weird the way it kinda happened, you're like, "Oh, really, crime con?" I mean, it sounds like fun, right? And I mean, I understand, we move on, we have to move on. We have to learn how to not just live in that pain because it's painful, and I mean, it can drag you the hell down and keep you there, and then you're gone too because, you know, grief, it's a mother effer. It's nothing to play around with, and, but let's just say that, okay, Fred invites, uh, Ron and Sue, and they go to, uh Blizzard King. I don't know, I'm just making some shit up. And so they go and you're just like, "Hmm," you know? And I mean, it looks different for, everybody. Everybody's there for their own reason. Everybody tunes in for their own reasons, you know, and how things appear. And so if we're there to promote the, to I guess, yeah, promote and or endorse or support, show love, however that goes, to our favorite person, doing their job, who invited said people. Um, I really reckon this. I'm not doing a good job at this, but it gets gross. And then it becomes like it's like you're pushing the gas pedal and the brake pedal at the same time. Okay. It's like I don't know. It's just two different forces. And some people have these expectations. And because of this, they're getting that, and it's self-promoting, and I understand it's business also. I understand. I get it. I'm just trying to talk these out because I obviously need to do that because they stay in my head. But um I hope the interview if he interview he already did. I think and from again, I don't know, I just pick up on things, okay? And so the other day when I was watching uh one of the last days, besides today, scheduled at the same time as me. Anyways, um, so whenever I was watching the other day, it was after the live stream and um I forget what you asked. I'm like, where was I going with that? Hmm. I mean, he already uh yeah, he already did interview Summer. So that was the other thing. It's gross on both sides, but I don't know. It's like a click too. Okay. I guess I have to carry around a Book of Mormon or this. Maybe if I start flashing it, maybe not being so critical, then I can be acknowledged. It's really weird. Then again, I'm not saying like don't forget about me, don't forget about. It's not like that, but it's also offensive in the same breath. You know, it's like everybody else's point of view, opinion, feelings, talking about the case. They are sought after, or perhaps not even sought after, perhaps just, "Here you go, you get to be the victim's advocate of your niece." Doesn't show up, though. Again, those actions and the words, when they don't line up, watch, you better watch, because sun's going down and, you know, just be observant, but that's how it looked to me. It looked like, okay, so you couldn't go the day your sister was getting sentenced. I mean, you can still love somebody. I would say that I wouldn't be able to cut those feelings off with my siblings if you switch the roles, right? Um, but you go and you advocate and you go and you be the voice that your niece deserved. You don't appear on uh the authoritative source for news reporting on this case. You don't show up there on the same damn day doing a damn interview and then doing the persecution complex. Oh, I'm just like, what? This is gross. And then, so you go, I couldn't show up I mean, this is kind of what I'm recalling. She was something like, I couldn't show up um, because of whatever, but she could show up on a damn Zoom with said reporter and then read something from her heart. Okay. Where were you? Representing, where were you? Okay. Move out of the way is all I'm saying. People, we're not here for the same things. That's what I see. We're not here for the same reasons, and I can respect what you do if you stay way the hell over there because I know what I've read. I know text messages that were sent. I know weird, shady characters that were taking selfies with, Edgar. He wouldn't have missed. I guess she was speaking about somebody shooting somebody. Just saying. Again, it's disheartening, and it sucks to watch the masses just hear, uh, a audio call or whatever in Lori's trial. It's devastating. It's freaking devastating to hear the pain, um, the pain. It sucks to hear Summer's call. It'll rip your heart out, but I never forget. I don't forget. I respect, and my heart goes out in that instance where that's the human in me, and I'm just like, "Oh my god," I cannot nobody deserved this. I don't care. But from what I've read and from what I've witnessed, in a lot of things and how you can't show up, then I don't sit down, go sit in the back, okay? Well, sit in front of me, sit in front of me, that way I can watch you, because I don't trust. And don't talk about it, be about it. Or, if you're gonna talk about it, at least let your actions line up with what you're spewing out of your mouth, because if not, to me, it's just a bunch of hot air and double speak, and I can't stand that shit. I'm like, "What?" It's so confusing, and it really does for people who are unsuspecting and just may be doing their little circuit. Maybe they don't follow this case the way that you guys do. You know what I mean? They just kinda pop in and they're like, "Oh, okay," and they're on about their lives, but they will always remember the phone call between Summer and Lori. It was devastating. It was devastating. I know what that's like to cry like that, you know, but I'll be damned. I'm not gonna platform somebody who has made some pretty serious accusations, allegedly, against one of the victims in this, just maybe not in that state. He's in Arizona where it started, right? Doesn't mean it didn't happen. I'm not a part of the church. I'm a Nevermo, and I'm proud of it. Okay. Nothing against anybody, but I mean, I don't see Christ like nothing. I've only witnessed it in the name for the most part. There's some really good people out there, and I don't think it has anything to do with anybody's involvement in and or out the church, because I think you're just good people, you know? And a church doesn't define you. A religion doesn't define you. It's your heart and your actions. That's what this is about. And just being a human and just not, putting a church up here on a platform, a church, a freaking material made out of wood, temples and churches, and it's material. You cannot. It doesn't add up. I can't make it. I can't resonate with it because I'm just like, so you're defending your church. What about Tyler, JJ, Charles, Tammy, and Joe? Your members. What about them? Crickets. Or follow me, subscribe. I mean, I'm just saying, it's really gross. It's really gross, and it bothers me a great deal, obviously. And it's so hard to explain because it's layers upon layers and layers upon layers of crap all the time, all the time. I mean, I don't know these things. Like, I remember when this first started out, the kids were missing. Where were they? Where were they? Where was their podcast? Where were their voices? Hmm? And besides defending and not considering the fact that, oh, well, this plus this, and then, you know, it really does appear, if the names are right, in the FOIA docs, from Chandler, it appears that, Summer was like, "You want me to go shoot him myself?" And she said that in reference to my uncle. That's not the only thing, though, okay? It's not. I can't keep up with everybody's stuff. I can't keep it on the top of my brain and just spit it out to you. I remembered a couple other things the other day, and I was like, "Oh, yeah." But for right now, I can't. Mm, that's about right, right? It's not just that. It's just opportunistic and it's gross. And until I mean, if we're doing the whole court of law thing, and going by the rules, because that's integrity, doing the right thing, especially when no one is looking, then I'll wait. But I'll be damned if I'm going to platform somebody and give them a voice when they could not even be a voice one day out of out of millennia, out of infinity, one day, and not show up on a news station, uh, poor mouthing, okay? Playing victim because it's gross. It's gross. You know who the victims are? Tyler, Charles, Tammy, JJ, and Joe. Guess what? They're not here. So stop. It's gross. And again, it's opportunistic, but yet they're all the ones who get I'm just like, what the fuck? What world is this? Let me know. Because no wonder I stay to myself. Besides, you know what I mean. It's nuts. So that's just one thing. I'm just saying there's a bunch. Um, there's the authors and the motion to intervene. I was like, "Oh shit, are we doing this again?" How many have you thought of the one author? How many? Be honest. I did. I was like, motion to intervene. There's going to be a motion hearing, or I'm sorry, a hearing on April 18th. I forget the time, and I don't have that pulled up, but it's just one page. And it's like, I think and again, I'm just saying this loosely because I don't know the words, I don't have it right here in front of me, and I'm not a good speaker, I'm not an effective person, okay? I don't have a good memory to contain all this stuff. I hope so. That's the only good thing out of that, Robinette, I really do. I was like, "Well," but then it kinda seemed like Nate was fishing around, like, somebody questioned if he'd wanna interview Lori. Well, who the hell wouldn't? Okay? He's a reporter. Okay? Go for it, dude. I mean, I'd be the first one there. Um, but I'm just saying if you kinda look at the things and then I mean, if he's wanting to interview and he's like, "Yeah," but he answered the question, he was like, "Well, of course I do." And then he's like he's it's like he's got something up his sleeve. Maybe Summer's hooking Sissy up, hooking Nate up with an interview. I don't know how, but I know they network like a mofo, okay? So, you saw it here first. I can't stand that shit. That's why I say, when I do say it, I'm being sarcastic. 3:30, I think so after court. The 18th. So tomorrow's the 15th, and so Wednesday. Mm. Oh my gosh, Anna, that's horrible. I mean, it's not what happened. What did I say whenever Dylan Rounds was found the other day? It was, that's the best, worst news ever. When they find people who are missing, families. I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, thank God that the kids were found. I could not imagine the unknowns, the not knowings, the looking, you know, at everybody's face and just thinking you saw them or something. I mean, oh my God, how tragic. Yeah. Yeah, it's just Robbie, big time. Um, yeah. Yeah, buddy. It's so but I know there's okay, so let me read this to y'all too real quick. I can't share it with you because I'm not making the announcement, but and I try to be respectful and not you heard it here first kind of stuff. It's my family. So um I just know that okay, my mom and Larry are gonna be announcing something publicly in the morning. Where I don't know. um I'm reading the rest of it. Okay. I mean, I really can't tell you the rest of it because I'm a woman of my word, you know? Um, and then that's how things get all crazy. So, I'll just say that it would pertain to KJ, you would be interested in this for sure. A lot of you guys would be, but um I don't know how to no, I don't know what to do. I just got myself and painted myself into a corner, right? It's got something to do with the children. And I'll leave it at that. Please, I'm sorry. And it's like I can't tell you more because it's not mine to tell. That's just how I look at things. So I guess that would be on Facebook. I don't really know. She didn't write it, and I'm not multi-talented enough to text while I talk to you. So yeah. Um, yeah. Uh, we'll talk more about it manana in the morning when we meet here, same time, same place, right? For some more of that trial, you know. Thank you, Anna. I have the best group. I have the best people here. You guys are the bee's knees, right? The bomb.com. For real. And I remember when KJ was like, "Crushy, you have a community." I was like, what? I have a what?" And I'm thinking, from the way I look at it, it was just I never looked up long. I wasn't expecting to make a community or a channel or, brand it. Brand your family's murder. Try that. But I mean, that's how things are set up. And I heard Donna say the other day in um, the Thursday live stream. Thank you again, by the way, Donna, and the other moderators, Trace, Beach Bum. I gotta do my fingers right. Oh my God, Mary and Lil Brands. And I made KJ a mod. I don't know if she even knows how to use that ranch. um, oh my God, who am I forgetting? That's embarrassing too. Anyways, and Sue Ellen too. Um, but I mean, just the way she shared this the other day, I was like, "Oh my God, that sounds better," because that's exactly how I feel. But how this is set up, how YouTube is set up, how social media is set up. The way to support somebody or show love is to, for free, share it, like it, subscribe to it. That's how that's currency these days, okay? That's how you can high five or, a hug. That's what we have to exchange in lieu of, these things and having a digital community, which is it's beautiful, you know? But anywho, and so I just wanted she said it a lot better than I did, but I mean, I was like, "Oh, yeah," because I mean, it sucks. You gotta have a channel banner to have a YouTube channel. And I'm just like, "How do you brand murder? I mean, what do I do? What do I name it?" I want it to encompass everything. I don't wanna think about all these things right now. This is back, when all this stuff was still happening and all the feelings were being felt for sure. And just trying to find out more, and it's freaky. Yeah, it's just so much to process at one time, and I'm not very good at processing things on the spot. I know, like, KJ, she's the best at putting me on the spot with the questions, and I'm like, "I don't even know." I don't know how I feel. I haven't processed it yet, when I'm doing this, I'm streaming, I'm looking at the comments, I'm just I can't look at them while they're on the screen, or I don't listen to everything. I do have ADHD, and I'm human, and they're boring. So, uh, you know anyways, but, I mean, they're such good questions, and, I hope she never stops asking those damn questions, right? We love us some KJ and other YouTube creators who maybe came this way into our lives through Tylee Trolls, Tammy, JJ, and Joe's stories. It is what it is, and tragedy at the very core of this is tragedy that brought us together. And it continues to have these tragedies take place, I mean, we have to be our brother's keepers, okay? You ain't gotta like everybody. You ain't gotta like me. You don't have to like each other, but you do have to get along. we have to cohabit, together and make this a better and safer place for our children and our grandchildren. Because yes, we're getting in that grandma age, right? And I mean, that's the good in the world. That's where we can really, you know, make our dent in the world or make our mark, whatever it is. Because I mean, don't you feel like this big? I do a lot of the times. Um, but I mean, it's justice through understanding, like KJ has so taught me. Wow, it is justice through understanding because there really is no other way. There's legal justice, there's uh eye for an eye justice, there's, you know, fist to fist, there's violence, there's wars, there's da, 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 da. There's just snuffing people out, 'cause I'll tell you how to eliminate most murders. I already proposed this to my mom a long time ago. I was like, "Take away insurance money." Boom. Done. 95% or more, right? They'll stop red roaming if there's nothing to gain from it. Nothing to hide, nothing to gain. Just saying. I'm trying to think of what else I thought of too. Mm, oh, I'm trying to think of what Natalie Lawyer Chick said earlier, and I want to tell you, and I never did finish. I agree, Trace. I do. I mean, really, I still don't. I mean, besides this community right here, but I get to talk. And I mean, I know tomorrow, whenever the trial is streaming on this channel and all the other channels, I mean, us that's how we communicate. And it's typing, right? And so, I mean, it's just I'm like, I'm just typing my ass off. But um, I mean, I love to just chat with y'all. Y'all make me laugh. Bewitched, you are hilarious. You're a channel mascot. You and little brands, right? You are some funny people, some funny ladies. Um, yeah, she was good tonight. Just trying to think of what she was saying about defense tactics. Like she kind of shares the tactics of the attorneys, like, oh, he could be doing this. And like she said something about the femme fatale. And I mean, I get it, it's so weird being like this is my family and it is weird because I did not learn a lot of things. I figured I would have learned more or that we would have learned more from Lori's trial being adjudicated. But as Natalie Lawyer Chick said earlier, and I'm not gonna say it verbatim, but basically there was no defense put up by her attorneys. And I mean by either their client and the information and the basically, like, "Don't go after my man." You know what I mean? Like, well, here he comes with the bus, right? Burr, 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 right? The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, right? All the way to Funky Town. And or like Larry said, he said a steamroller, straight up. And I mean, so in the beginning of this, I was just like, "Oh my god, I can't stand them," but really, I'm telling you, if I were today, if I was in the hot water, like Chad and Lori, I would be like, if I had to choose between the attorneys in the case, Chad and or Lori, you know what I mean, in Idaho, if I had to pick out of those attorneys, I would pick John Pryor. Why? Because he ain't stopping. I mean, just I don't know. First off, he's not of like mind. Just saying. He's out. He's out of his element too. And he's swimming through the Mormon waters. And I kind of I respect that. I really do. Just saying. I like the underdogs. I don't like Chad. I don't like Lori. I can't stand what the hell they did and what Chad allegedly did till proven in a court of law. But um I do like the fact that they don't protect the unnamed co-conspirators. I'm not going to call them witnesses because they're not witnesses. They are old older people, um, mothers, fathers, members of the church, members of the community, um, Okay, like Christina Atwood, Serena Sharp, Zalema. Okay. I actually say Zalema. Yeah, it's a very tough, you know, it's like marry one, marry one, date one, kill one, whatever that little game is. And I'm just like, oh my God. If I had to pick out of all of them, I'd say that Zalema has been the most forthcoming. Whether I'm pretty sure it's because of, legal things and liabilities and perhaps, keeping her ass out of hot water. But I mean, hey, she seems to not so, I don't know, she still projects though. It's hard. It's very hard. And I mean, it may be this one today and then tomorrow I'll be like, "Oh, it's so hard to pick one because I don't like anything that they did." Okay? Again, none of them have come out and um said anything publicly. I mean, Melanie Gibb don't count because that's bullshit. That's that whole, "Hey, Imma parade you around. We're gonna do the East Idaho News extravaganza thing." Okay? Same difference to me, because clicks and views, you know, and then you get to promote. Anyways, it's really gross. It's a double-edged sword. It's not all gross because we get the information, but at what cost? Who? It cost somebody somewhere. Yeah, so I don't get it. I mean, she was married to frickin' Alex. Okay. It's nuts. I don't know. When I started all this, I didn't know what I was getting into. I still don't know where I'm going. As long as I'm not going backwards, that's all that matters. And, I used to come on here, basically on Sundays, right before the trial started, and all the other times, and um, at least one day a week, it would give me an excuse to have to put makeup on and be presentable. Try to talk about this. Try to put all these weird people in their beliefs. And this is not all, I'm not blanketing everything. Y'all know, if you follow this channel, you know who I'm fixed on, right? Who my eyes are fixed on, who all my eyes are fixed on. It's a whole movement. If ever there were a cult leader, his name is Tim Ballard. Just saying. And that's just in this one little, that's my opinion, allegedly. And then, I mean, he even takes orders from somebody. So, I mean, and we saw where that goes. And it just rolls downhill. I just don't want any more Tylee JJ's, Charles, Tammy, Joe's, any more of the Frankie children, any more of the Hamblin alleged victims and his children. I mean, there's uh, the more and more that whole secret society shit that Melanie Gibbs spewed and the whole Gadiant robbers crap. That I was like, what the hell, the Gadiant robber? I still what? But you from reading, I haven't read it all yet still because, I'm only one person, and I get bored. Not with the book. The book is great, but it's, called Program to Kill, and it's by David McGowan, and it was written in 2004. And it's basically, this is just my I don't really know how to even talk about it. I don't even read books, okay? I just kinda read everywhere, wherever I go. But, I'm trying to keep with this, and because it is interesting and it sheds a lot of insight into this very case right now, except this one is real time. All the other ones, like Charles Manson, um, I don't know the names, okay, the Process Church of the Final Judgment, um, the Assailant Institute, the Tavistock Institute, which is where David Hamblin's dad and his mom, they wrote papers for Tavistock in behavior modification, like we see with Ruby Frankie and Jody freaking Hildebrandt. Okay, it's a generational thing. They're inverted. I'll just say they're inverted people. They like the inversions. Okay, if you're sunshine, if you're light, they're dark. Okay, and you know what I mean. Like you just gotta look at. And so I just don't know if they are purpose. This is where I'm at. I don't know if people like Chad, Lori, Ruby, Jody, Tim, and all the Funky Bunch, right? The whole Funky Bunch, just all the people. Glenn Beck, Sean Reyes, Mike Lee, Rod Meldrum. They all go, they all bump elbows, okay? What they do. David Warwick, he's in there. Best buds running the circuit, the Mormon speaking circuit before preparing, and people are right for sure, around the time. Tom Harrison, David Warwick, Abraham Gigliotti, all those, Karen Prier. There were conferences going on. This is not new. This is just the latest. And I mean, it's already transpired into these other cult like um, crimes against children for sure. Many victims in their wake. So, whatever it is, whatever it appears to be, whatever the public labels it, or media, I don't know. I ain't got no control over that. I teeter-tot a lot with the whole, "Is this a cult? Is it part of a bigger cult? What is this?" And it does appear to have been the beginnings of one, but really, I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't see it as being its own cult. I see it as they're going to the temple. They're doing all this in the temple, in your temples. They're temple cards, and you beep beep. I'm sure they're very high tech now. You don't have new name Noah. I watched his Mormon story, and he said, I mean, it's funny, but he used to, um, what do you call it? He would make fake temple recommends, and he would sell them. I mean, I get it. Hey, that's what is being taught, I think, sometimes, is just this hustle and taking advantage of you know, your community members, and it's really sad. And it's like, "Oh, we gotta support." It's like an MLM, and it's really tragic. And so there's a bunch of people getting screwed over, and there's people that are screwing other people over, all in the same community. And it's just like, wow. um, but we gotta take accountability too. So uh where was I going with that? Shit. I already forgot. Oh, I don't know. I need to eat. I'm hungry and I'm tired. It is mainstream. Yeah. Yes. It is. And I mean, I've read it. I read it. I was reading it last night. I would bore y'all with it right now. That's really what I wanted to do. I was like, okay, yeah. And I always do that. I was talking about Program to Kill. Sorry. I do. I'm like, "Oh my god, yes, this needs to be read." And I mean, it's not like it's in, video form, or, you can't just turn a video onto it, because it's these papers written by Val Brinkerhoff, another well-respected Mormon millionaire who has a platform, purerevelations.com, or sevenwitnesses.com. It's about the 144,000 dark. There's 144,000 light, and there's 144,000 dark, inverted, right? I mean, all you gotta do is just look and read, and then I just know it's not breaking headlines. It's not the you heard it here first, okay? I'll be the damn last, but slow and steady. There's no race or anything, but you get what I mean. Slow and steady wins the race. That's just kind of a mantra. It is. He did okay, what was it on? You said Mormon Stories podcast, but I'm trying to think about, I don't know. Again, everything's blurry, blending in together because there's so much going on at one time. Thank you, Janetta. You're so sweet always. Thank you. And I feel bad because I don't always get to tell you that. And everybody here, y'all know I'm gonna blow y'all up tomorrow whenever they go, and we can try and hear them during the trial. Whatever audio they had last year, they need to go round that shit up. We'll go. I'm sure we have some boots on the ground over there in Boise. They will haul a whole YouTube kit over there. And because now it's like you can hear Pryor, but you can't hear freaking Judd. You can't hear Rob Wood. You cannot hear Ray Hermosillo. They're like, I'm like, what? And in my editing software, and from StreamYard, it'll show the audio waves. It's not even picking them up, and I'm just like, this is horrible. I'm not being ungrateful, but I'm just like, I'd rather not see it at all than have to strain. Uh, we're not gonna see it, so at least give us some good audio. I can I can deal with that, you know. Anna Marie, oh my gosh. Oh, you're sweet. Thank you. Oh, everybody is tax day tomorrow, right? She's doing taxes. Oh my goodness. Time to pay up. Don't cheat the government. Don't in a world of Barry Coxes, right? In a world of sovereign citizens, don't be a Barry Cox, right? I need to read that book, by the way. How to cheat the IRS. My goodness, apple doesn't fall far from the tree, I don't believe. And again, no shade on them. It's just it's wow. You kind of understand where things how things are, you know. I know, Rhonda, I feel like I need a hearing aid when I'm listening. Same. Or they'll be really loud. Or like us, whenever they're not talking, whenever they go to a sidebar or something and we jump on, we got to hurry up and turn the damn volumes down. If I'm watching and listening, that's what I got to do. And so it's very aggravating when you have to do that. I know, first world problems. Okay. I get it. But I'm just one of those that if you're gonna whole ass it, do it right. I don't think it's any fault. Like I don't think they're doing it purposefully. I hope not purposely. The court, I mean, I think it's very generous for them to, and not generous, but transparent. It's transparent. It's the right thing, and being handled the right way. It's not just But well, I say that, but in my head, I'm thinking, well, we don't have, big networks in there, but they'd be controlling the cameras and the microphones. But it's being offered for everyone to be able to stream it off of the Idaho Supreme Court website. Which we could maybe try it from there. Maybe it will because it's directly from source. I don't know if it would help. We'll have to see.
Hey,
And
Krisha,
yeah,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you,
I saw
but
you.
I went exactly how Judge Boyce said to do that to the
Mhm.
website, clicked on it, and when I clicked on it, it took me right back to YouTube.
What? Well,
Yeah. So if there's
okay.
another place, I didn't find it. But anyways, I'm
Okay,
gonna
and
get
that
out
was
of
the
here.
Supreme Court? You okay, well, I mean, you said you
Yep,
followed
I did.
because I was like, "Well, okay, we'll try it." And I saw that Court TV has theirs scheduled for tomorrow, and it says WebEx in the description box, and I was like, "Huh," you know? I mean, but it's also not, um because sometimes those big networks will come back and they will copyright your ass. I've had Sons of what is it? Sins of Our Mother? Netflix strike or try to strike me on my home video of JJ, my parents. No, I'm sorry, it was the bus video. My damn it, you can freaking find my metadata or whatever the hell it's called. That came from my damn phone. Mom said it. She's like, "That's me." I was like, "No, it's not. You were with Uncle Charles. Move." We sound alike. "Hi, I'm your daughter." And um anyways, and it's everywhere, and it says Kay Woodcock on it if they do credit it, but yeah, the Netflix tried copywriting me, and I was like, "Oh, hell no." No. I mean, it's hard, it's bad enough, it's like, "Oh my god, that's my mom, that's my dad, that's my family. It's my family. You're saying the stories, you're talking about all the people, you're using some of my clips with my bonus son in 'em, okay? Nobody asked me. Nobody blurred his face out. My daughter's in a bunch of pictures with JJ and Tylee. I have some that I haven't released that have Ashlyn's now 18, so I can ask her, you know? Oh, yeah, I know. I saw that too, Rhonda. I was like, I mean, we all would, right? And whatever audio system they had last year was beautiful. It worked. You didn't miss anything. I really like when Lindsay Blake, she's very confident. She she's she's easy to listen to. She's I'm not an organized person. Y'all know my brain just went 80,000 different ways just in this live stream. Um, but I depend on people, with their organizational skills. I mean, but don't expect me to do anything organized, because I'm like, what? That's not how my brain works. But I do appreciate those who are able to do that. I salute you. You watched the replay on Thursday after work on Judge Boyce's site on YouTube, and it was a lot clearer. I could actually see more of a face than a blob. Yeah. Hmm. And so the other day when I was streaming it, I kept trying to put it on, because you can go into your settings, everybody, wherever you're watching from. So just know this. I mean, you don't really think about these things. Some people aren't even subscribed or anything, or they can't comment because they don't know how to sign in. So if you need any, well, you can't reach out, can you? Email me, kresha0123@gmail.com. Maybe we can make some kind of how-to video. I'm not really good at all that, but I'll do what I can. I'll try and help in any way that I can, because we want you here. And there's a lot of people who are just now commenting. They're like, "Oh my gosh, I've never commented, but I've been here since the beginning." And I mean, that means the world to me. So I know that, perhaps maybe you've never taken part in the conversation, in the difficult research, but you're here. And I mean, that says so much. If you want to stay in the shadows, I understand that too. I respect that. I get it. um, Everybody has their ways, and do what works for you, what works best for you. But so in your settings, definitely on YouTube. So when you log on tomorrow and meet us here, um, you go to if you're on your phone, like I have an iPhone, so on your on the difficult research screen of the video tomorrow's trial stream. Once we go live, you can go to the little gear, the little settings icon. You click that, and it'll say picture quality or whatever resolution. It says different things everywhere. I think that's what it says. And you can go to advanced or highest, advanced settings, I think is what it is. I don't have it. I'm not looking at it, but um I think that's what it is. Or if you're on your desktop or wherever you're at. I don't know what it looks like from uh I can't ever think, the other phone, not the iPhone. Samsung Galaxies and stuff. Android. Um Let me just show you real quick. I'm stuck at this. Let's see. Oh wait. I gotta hide myself. Okay. Okay. Let's see. This was Natalie. I think it's showing right. Let me make sure. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wrong window. Okay. So there's this gear, this little icon right here, and it says quality right here at the bottom. Okay. If you see my mouse, my little mice, it's right here. I mean, there's closed captions right here, right here. I don't know if I turned those on. There were a couple people asking that I allow the setting. I don't even know that existed. So I went and clicked a couple things the other day, but then I created ads, and I mean, it's weird. Inside YouTube, in my opinion, it's not very user friendly. So that's why I always stream from like a StreamYard, or I remember I had Zoom at one point, which had a lot of bells and whistles, and I didn't know my way around them. I was very nervous with that. But anyway, so you can do the playback speed, not live. I don't think it gives you this live, but you can speed it up, slow it down. But see how it says quality here. So if I increase the quality on, let's say this is Judge Boyce's trial stream tomorrow. And so what I can do as a streamer, somebody streaming and presenting it for you to see, I can make it better on my end by increasing it to the highest one that it'll go to. And it usually will let me go to 1080. But here lately, now YouTube just did a big update, okay? And y'all, I couldn't log on to um to do part 2 when we decided the first day of Chad's trial to break it into 2, an after morning session and an afternoon session so that, it wouldn't be so much to have to wade through. Um, we could kinda cool our heels for 30 minutes, let our engines catch up. But, I mean, just so happened what can go wrong will go wrong. And there were a lot of people, come to find out, that were not able to log back in or schedule. And so I had created so many different, live streams without even like, I didn't even push create, I didn't even know what I was doing. So high five and kudos to those who know how to operate, um, the settings and stuff in YouTube. Yeah, I don't. It's not me. But, anyway, so you can increase this to 1080p, 720, or it'll say highest, or like this one says auto. And anyway, so I'll do that in the morning. Me and Donna will do that in the morning. We'll try and get the highest. And then you'd also do that on your device, and I mean, you'll see it just transform. Like when I do that on my phone, it'll be using the 720 or whatever, or 480 sometimes. And I'm like, what the hell? Why can't I see? And then I go check my settings, and because it resets all the time, and you go for the highest one, 1080p if it's available. And instantly it's like the video just, I mean, becomes really clear. So I wish that there were, I mean, there's got to be something you can do. Um, I saw Donna. She was the other day. She was I guess blowing her screen up, zooming in, zooming out, and I mean, I was like, "Oh no, you can't see it bigger. It is bigger." And then she backed it down. I was like, "Well, really, no, it's not." But it really did appear to be. So it is uploaded by the judge in the lowest quality resolution. We can't zoom in to make it clear either. Still blurry. Even when I put it on 1080 HD. Plus the live red dot goes off during it. So I have to click on it to turn the red dot back on to keep it live by the second. In it. So that's what that update, right? Because the other day I was like screen recording some of the opening statements. So, you know, I've noticed that about the news stations and all the channels, last year. And I mean, I just was out of my element. I was away from home. I had my laptop and it was really slow. Wi-Fi really was horrible. And so, but I still wanted to create the stuff for my channel, create a record here. I mean, I have all the FOIA videos and documents. I have the FOIA docs. I just don't. I'm even thinking about just it's 1108 pages just in that huge one. I'm thinking about just making a video or video forms, and people can just go and take screenshots. I don't really know how else to share them besides sharing them out. I don't mind. Um, I was real protective over it in the beginning, but I see how people do with that, and I don't like that. So, um, anyways, but yeah, I have like all the interviews and all the things, and I just didn't know how to do all that. And I mean, I'm only one person, so it takes me forever just to do a damn thumbnail because that's when I'm creating and kind of thinking. I'm kind of unplugged, somewhat. So, anyways, I don't know. We'll try our best. 1080 and 720 don't seem to make a difference on your MacBook. I wish I had a MacBook. I just want my devices to communicate. I have a Windows or Dell Windows and iPhone, and then I have a HP in there. I'm just saying they don't communicate. Google, I like iMac, Apple, yeah, Dropbox. I like it all. I'm a mutt. So yeah, I just wherever I go and I learn, that's kind of what I tend to stick to. And anyways, I'm not saying it's the right way, but mm, if it is upload, oh, I already read that one. Thank y'all so much. I really do appreciate y'all. I wish you guys could see me. I mean, sorry. Wish you guys could see me. Oh, I will say it backwards. Just know that. Okay. And we'll finish talking more about, all the things. I'll be like, "Oh, yeah, I forgot to finish that. I forgot to finish that sentence. Oh, yeah." Like, oops. So sorry. It's just no rhyme or reason, Um, It's a lot to contain in your head. And I mean, I love the fact that I'm not doing that alone. You guys right here, supportive, loving friends with some snark. Bring it. Love it. And I love the fact that you guys are all about seeing this through, justice through understanding for the victims. And I couldn't be more proud, really. I wish you guys could see yourselves through my eyes. Did I say that right? Yeah, I think I did. I love you too, Treva. My my brother's godmother, her name is Treva. So when I saw, I was like, that's not her though. You know, if so, hey, I should have said something sooner. Anyways, have I tried to email Boyce as a family member to see if he ain't gonna up the quality, girl. But I mean, it was interesting to see that he even brought it up. That told me that, he took it, took the matter up, and shared that with the attorneys to talk louder. And I mean, I thought maybe that would help, but I don't think it's anything that they're doing and or not doing. Yes, they forget to turn their mics on. John Pryor sounds like he's on a stripper pole going around it sometimes, but or the typey type, you know. I'm like, "Oh my god." Right? But, you just gotta we just gotta be grateful too. Um But I think it's something that they just need to work out. Hopefully, they did that over the long weekend. Um, hopefully. I don't mind emailing, though, or I'll ask Mom and Larry. I don't think Mom's in the courtroom yet. She hadn't testified, so I know that Larry's been there. And, tomorrow, the announcement, I'm sure I'll learn about the announcement when my parents make the announcement. I cannot wait to share it with you. Um So, be here tomorrow morning. I guess this is done, right? I'm gonna go to bed. I'm tired. Are y'all tired? Going to bed? Still better than the audio dump. You had to pay for it too. I was like, oh my God, I don't even know where to go. Finally knew where to go, and then you couldn't get it there anymore. I was like, well, what the hell? So it's always, I'm always coming in last. I'm gonna be last. Don't forget about me. Don't forget about me, right? But anyways, you guys are awesome. Justice for Tylee, Charles, Tammy, JJ, and Joe. Be here tomorrow morning if you want, or come in and out throughout the day. You're more than welcome. We have a revolving door. You don't have to pick a side. We're not a cult leader. We do appreciate you here, and we feel when you're not here. Um, Justice for the victims, and y'all remember that love always wins. You guys are proof of this, right? Bye, guys.